Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial, guys, on a brand new 15 Minecart station. Now, what's great about this, guys, is the fact that this works on the Java edition and the Bedrock edition as well. So the great thing about this, no matter how you build this, it's going to work on both platforms. Now, we have this awesome selector panel that had to be redesigned, and the second you press the button, the lights will go on back and forth, switching between what you want to pick. What I love about this, guys, is the fact that this thing works on both platforms the same exact way. So whether you're playing Bedrock or Java, you're not going to have any issues with this. Now, we also have a manual reset. Now, once you press that, all the lights will go on and reset the entire panel. Perfect. Now, at this point, guys, I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you depart. Now, once you press a button and you select the station you want to pick to, all you have to do is go right over here to the departure section. Now, we also have this large chest here where you put all your minecarts in, so you're never low on them. And the second you hit that button, the minecart will pop up immediately. Now, because there's no block behind it, it's just going to stay right there. Now, the second you hit that button, guys, you're going to get shot off perfectly to your selected destination. Now, once you hit the button, guys, and you're kind of arriving back, you will get kicked off your minecart and it'll go right underneath underground perfectly in this smooth transition. Now, to show you exactly what's happening, guys, with the minecart when it departs, check it out. We're going to do a same demonstration, but I'm not going to go on it. Now, we're going to hit the button. The block will pop up right behind it and go right back down. And that light that we selected will turn off, because what happens is we have a built-in reset system so that once it leaves, it's not stuck on that train station. Now, for whatever reason, guys, you guys hit the minecart but didn't select anything, you're going to go right back to the arrival side. Now, check this out. The ground would open up, piston will go right up, letting the minecart go right in, and then close immediately. So you really have this double piston action thing going on. Now, pause the video, guys. These are the specs I was using earlier with the texture packs and so forth. But not to worry, we will be building this in the standard default. Yes, I am keeping the shaders because I love the shaders, but yes, the whole rest of the builds will be on the default texture pack, just in case you guys was interested. See, still works the same. Now pause the video again, because now we have the actual build, all right? And let's try to get at least 300 likes for this video, because you guys are awesome. Now, right off the bat, that blue mark in the middle represents the front of the panel. So that's about 5 blocks in, and on the 6 blocks, that's the panel. And on both sides, you will need at least 4 blocks of width. Now, the center, you can make as big as the panel as you want. The maximum size will be 15. Now, right now, you're going to go about 3 blocks up. Place the block right on top. Delete the 3 right underneath. And you're going to extend that all the way to the other side. Oops. Now, as you've done that, you're going to actually extend this right across again. Fantastic. Then you're going to add 2 blocks on each side. And of course, connect the last top part from one side all the way down to the other. And you can add your redstone lamps on the inside. Should be a grand total of 16. Then right underneath, by 1 block in, you're going to add a button right in front of each side where the redstone lamp is located. Now place a block underneath, one right there, delete that, and extend that right across to the other side. Right until you get to the last button, and delete that one. Then you're going to add 15 pieces of redstone dust right across. Delete that one on the edge. Then we added too many. And now we're going to actually be setting up the selector panel. Now place a block parallel to the redstone dust, a block in the center, one above, below, and delete the first one. So you should have this kind of checker pattern going on, and extend that right across all 15 blocks. Now, once you've done that, place another block in front, extend that right across as well. And then right underneath this block, you're going to add a straight line of redstone dust. And then going forward, you're going to add a repeater right across the board like so. Okay. And right in front of this block, you're going to add another row of repeaters. But the only difference with this is you're going to have to make sure that all these repeaters are on 4 ticks, full delay. Now, once you've done that, you're going to place a block right in front of the repeater. And of course, extend that right across. Then you're going to get your droppers. And you're going to have these right on top facing forward, facing the actual panel. And then you're going to go on the other side and make sure that the droppers are facing the opposite direction. So you have 2 droppers basically facing each other. Perfect. Now at this point, guys, you can place a block right there and one at an angle, like so. And of course, extend that right across to the other side. Now, once you've done that, you're going to place a comparator going forward, like so. Now, once you've done that, all you have to do now is make sure that there's one item in the back dropper. Okay, I'm using a piece of dirt. You can use any item you want, as long as there's one piece of item inside those back droppers. Now, right on top of the box, you can place a row of redstone torches. A block right on top. Of course, extend that right across. Then you're going to place a redstone torch in front of that block. Now, once you have this look, go right over here, guys. You're going to place 3 rows of blocks right across. And of course, repeat that right across the board on each one. Nice. Now, once you have this look right in the center, place another row of blocks. Then starting here, you're going to place a block in front of each redstone lamp in the front here, all 15. Leave the last one on the left empty. And a repeater right in between, right in front of each block like so, right across the board, and of course repeat that on this row as well. Now on the left hand side, guys, you're going to place a block right there, one on top, one on the side, another one there, and one like so, creating this kind of U shape with one repeater going forward. Now we're going to create the manual reset. Now place a block there with another repeater. Now you're going to place 1, 2, and 3 blocks like so. Place the block in front of that repeater. And you're going to place 2 pieces of redstone dust right here. Now underneath, you're going to place 1 sticky piston. Now we're going to have to delete this block and temporarily just break these blocks for now. Trust me, I'm going to place that right back. We just need the spacing here just to place your observer block on the side. And put your 2 blocks right there. And the repeater on top. And that piece of redstone dust that we just broke. Then you're going to place a redstone torch on top of that block with a block on top of it. Then another piece of redstone torch on the side. One on top. Another block going parallel to that with a repeater going forward, another repeater going this way on the side, and a block in front of it. Now you'll place 1 redstone dust on top and then a piece of redstone dust right across each redstone lamp. So that when you hit the button, it's going to reset the entire system, you see, and also activate the lights. And it really gives a good effect to the whole thing. Now we're going to set up the actual rail system. Now place a block going forward, like so, underneath, parallel to the comparator. And you're going to repeat that style right across, okay? Now break the block in between each one, leaving a 1 block space like so. And a redstone dust on top of it. Because bear in mind, that's where the comparator is hitting the block and then activating that redstone dust. Now on top here, guys, on the opposite end, place a block like so, a redstone torch right above that block, and of course another piece of redstone dust. Now, right in front of each block, well, each redstone dust, we're going to place one block of your choice, all right? That block has to activate the rails that are connected to the power rails, and I'll show you later on what that means. But it's going to allow the rails to switch directions. Now, right here, place a block like so, and a few blocks going outwards. And now you're going to set up your actual output, where the rails are going to be going outwards. So pause the video, set this up, make sure you have some time to really kind of set up your output and how you want your rails to come out. Now we're going to place some power rails right here, one there, and leave that gap empty for now. And place another power rail, kind of go in this back and forth pattern. See? Now you're going to place your regular rails on the inside. Now this gets tricky depending on what direction you're facing. Long story short, your input, right, when you're going in and you're coming out, those rails have to be curved in that direction. If they're in the opposite, that means you have to switch this side. Remember, they'll have to be curved in that direction. If they're not curved like that, that means that your manual setup, right, has to be set up the other way. Because when you activate a button, you see how that redstone dust curve that rail, and then when you hit the reset button, it curves it right back so that it all leads towards the other side. That's what you need to set up. So make sure that is all in that right configuration. Now I want to add some redstone blocks, guys. Simply just activate the rails. Now once we extended all the rails going forward, depending on how you want to set that up, we're going to place a block here and here at an angle right between each one. Then you're going to place one more block there and there, delete the first one, and of course extend this right across the board on this upper level. Now, just like we did on the bottom, guys, you're going to make sure you add your power rails right here and here, like so, leaving that gap in the middle empty. See? Perfect. Now, at this point, guys, just like we did on the bottom, we're going to place a regular rail right in the center, and that's going to curve in the proper direction. Perfect. Now, all you have to do at this point, guys, is just make sure you power each power rail. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in certain spots. So now we're going to set up the departure side. We already got figured out that the departure side is on the right-hand side, not on the left. So we're going to place a block right underneath, right there, and make a straight line right across to the other side until you connect to these rails, and make another rail right next to it. Perfect. Now right over here, we're going to start connecting this one first. So place a block there at an angle in this exact format, 3 blocks right at an angle. Place a regular rail and make sure it's 3 power rails right across. And this block here, guys, you're going to add 2 regular rails and kind of curve this till you connect to the other side. And here, just add a redstone torch. It seems to be the best way because it kind of powers both. Now right there, guys, that's going to be a very important rail because that's going to determine whether it goes up or down. So place a power rail, a rail detector, a redstone block, and 3 power rails right across. And trust me, this is all going to make sense later. Now starting here, right where that redstone torch is, that blue block, place 2 blocks like so. Okay? You're going to extend that right across to the last selector panel here, the last button part, and place a block in between. And on top here, guys, that comparator is also going to activate that redstone dust that's on top of the block. So place one right on top of each block like so. Let me delete that. And once you have this exact look, guys, make sure you get your repeaters and place it going forward towards that direction. Now right over here, add a few blocks going straight Matter of fact, delete that, add a block right there. And you're going to add a redstone torch right underneath, because you want this to curve or stay in that curvature that we have set up. Not that one. It should not stay like this when the selector panel is completely reset. Okay? So you want it to add that redstone torch and make sure that thing is powered. Or if you're in a different direction, guys, just make sure that it curves, because sometimes depending on the direction, you might have to change that other repeater, that first one that you see down there, to a redstone torch. Because depending on directions, they do act a little funny, so you might have to invert that. So when I hit the first rail, right, it should curve over here and then exit the first rail. See where I'm coming at? Because the first button was selected. And basically that's how it should look. So that when you press, let me reset that. When you reset the system, and let's pick the second button. See how the rail didn't change? It allows you to go upwards and not downwards. Because when you go up here, you're now going to curve into the second rail and go on to the second lane. Now we're going to create the departure reset system. So once you leave, the system is not stuck on that one button. Now right underneath here, guys, where the rail detector is, you're going to place a block right there with a redstone dust. You're going to add 2 blocks going forward, 1, 2, add a block on top with a repeater going forward. Make sure it's on 4 ticks. Now you're going to add 3 more blocks with a block on top. And this time you're going to add 2 repeaters on 4 ticks. Now once you've done that, add 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks and make sure they're all on full delay. You're going to add repeaters on top of it, and all of them have to be on 4 ticks. It's going to give you enough time to leave the station and so that the system can reset itself with no problems. Now add a few more blocks here, add a block on top. Now you're going to add a slab, if you want to, on the second block with a block on top so that nobody could come in and kind of interfere with that. Now over here, guys, we're going to do the same exact thing. Add a row of blocks right here until you connect with the rails. 1, 2, fantastic. And another row right next to it. Now, once you have this exact look, guys, place a block right there, parallel to the first row. Add 2 more blocks at an angle, and a redstone torch underneath. Now, you're going to add a regular rail, and then 3 power rails going downwards. Now, we're going to temporarily break the first power rail right here. Go about 2 blocks forward, add 2 more power rails, and right here, guys, you're going to add your regular rails to curve it and connect it with the rails underneath. See how it kind of curves and goes towards the front direction? Then put back that first power rail that we broke. And I like to add a redstone block here. It's completely optional, just to power all these rails going forward. And once again, guys, we're going to create the same identical framework that we did on the opposite end. So add your slab right there on the top part on the second block with a block on top of it. And there you have it, guys. You have this really awesome entrance. Now we're going to set the minecart system so that it could pop up the minecart, etc. I pretty much showed you before. Now go about 2 blocks in, guys. You're going to place 2 droppers on the 3rd block down and a dispenser on ground level with a regular power going right across the board. Now you're going to place a comparator going forward with a repeater, another repeater on the side of it on the opposite direction with 2 pieces of redstone dust and a 3rd one like so, and make sure that comparator is on subtract mode. Add an observer block with a block in front and a redstone dust on the side of it. Now we're going to set up this button here, guys. Add a redstone torch with a block going downwards and a piece of redstone dust on top of it. Add a few blocks going forward till you're parallel to that first one. Then we're going to add a repeater, a piece of redstone dust, make that 2 pieces of redstone dust with a block. Well, we're going to delete that block, add a redstone torch, and a repeater going forward. And in front of that repeater, guys, you're going to add a regular sticky piston and a block on top of it. So that when you activate it, it pops up, allowing the minecart to shoot forward because the rails are already powered. Perfect. Now right here next to that redstone dust, you're going to add a sand with a cactus on top of it. Add a hopper on the side, extend that to your front of the sand, one on the side and one going forward. Then you're going to add a block right there and extend that all the way to the other side. So you get about one block further, like right there to that last pillar, right? And add a straight line of power rails from one end all the way down to the other, guys. I like to use a lot of power rails. You don't necessarily have to. You can kind of use a combination of regular rails or power rails, but you know, I just like to go all out sometimes. Now, as you've done that, you're going to place 2 blocks right here. You're going to place a rail detector and an activator in front. Underneath here, add a block there and there, delete the first one. Underneath the rail detector, add another block like so. Add 2 pieces of redstone dust so that I can activate that block with a redstone torch in front of it. And a block on top, and on the side of that block, you're going to add a sticky piston with a regular block or whatever block you're going to use as a floor. Now starting here, guys, you're going to add a block right there with a redstone dust. And then on the side here, guys, add 1 sticky piston, well, block there, and a sticky piston on top of it with a block like so. Because you don't want the rail to pass that whole spot that it's going to drop in. So add a block there and a redstone torch there, guys. And if that happens, just add it again. And long story short, you should have this look. So once it's activated, that redstone dust, the pistons kind of invert, see? So it hits the block and goes straight down onto that minecart system that we have set up. Now, right over here, guys, add 1 hopper towards that top dispenser. And then you're going to add a few blocks here to cover up the redstone as much as possible. And just add a chest. You can add a chest, a barrel, whatever you want to use. That's going to be your input to add more minecarts manually. Now at this point, guys, just decorate it to your design. I mean, you're all going to have different setups and different styles of where you want to put this. It's a perfect time to cover everything up, add your flooring, your decorations, and you're good to go, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure to leave a like and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember to please leave a comment and to click that subscribe button if you want to join. Thank you.